What's up, everybody? Happy holidays as usual. Wanted to jump in and do a pretty quick but informative kind of case study of bot usage on Instagram today on hashtag Trav, as I'm calling it. This is this is an ongoing long-term issue across all social channels, but definitely on Instagram, and that's when brands or really anyone is using bots. Um, that's different than bot followers, like fake followers, or when you buy followers. But bot usage is automating activity, right? The automation of likes and comments and shares and things of that nature. Recently on Instagram, there's been a lot of bot usage on Instagram stories. So that's getting accounts to view a story to get someone's attention, because on Instagram you can see when someone has viewed your story who they are, and if you don't know who it is, you might click into it, go look at their profile. But what I want to talk about is bots by brands and why that's a bad thing for a brand. Why a brand should never use bots on any channel for any reason. So I actually want to show you a case study that happened with me and how I called out a brand doing it and how it just snowballed into them just essentially lying. So let me show you. Let me show you what it looked like. So as you can see here, this is my Instagram, and I got this comment a few days ago, and it was on a post of mine from June 10th. So this is about 6 months ago, right? So I randomly get a comment on a post from 6 months ago, a post that I didn't use any hashtags on. Clearly, this is just bot activity, and it's from an account that obviously looks really spammy as well. Brute Impact underscore menswear 2K19, and you can typically know it's just BS when you see generic comments like "nice post." DM us. Oh, okay, great. That doesn't sound fake at all. So of course, I am who I am, and I love calling people out. I'm not really confrontational, but I really hate when people are dishonest, especially in marketing, of course. And so I replied, how about not using bots to comment on people's posts as a desperate attempt to get followers and attention? Hashtag bad marketing. So I ended up posting this in my stories as well, calling them out, like, what are you doing? Like, this is embarrassing. And I have some more screenshots I want to show you guys of how this story kind of developed. Let me figure out which one it is. I got a few screenshots here. So immediately when I posted in my story about them, I got an automated message you could see here as well. Instantly, as soon as I mentioned them in my story, which goes to the messages, they give me an automated message offering me commission. So that just further played into my point of how they're using automation to do their whole business, right? Which I think could work in some ways, having this kind of chatbot function. So obviously I'm laughing, and then they read my story and they're like, those comments are from bots. So I'm just like, okay, let's drag this out a little bit further. So I'm like, so you just post random generic comments on 6-month-old post. Don't insult my intelligence. I work in social media marketing. So I'm just like, obviously just calling them out, because I'm like, I can't wait to see how far they drag out the line here, right? I'm like, and then I found out that they created dozens of accounts. So let me show you that. So then I started searching them, and I'm like, oh, look how many Instagram accounts they have. Isn't that convenient? And why that's convenient is having all these Instagram accounts that don't represent the actual main account. This allows them to just, it's whack-a-mole for Instagram and bot usage. So they just create an account, name it some generic BS, right? Some long thing like that. And they use that account to do all the bot activity to draw people to the main account. And if that account gets suspended, that spammy account, they just make a new one. So it's whack-a-mole, and Instagram, Facebook, they can never catch up, right? So it's sort of a smart strategy in terms of how they're able to evade and make this work, but it's absolutely despicable and sad that a brand is doing this instead of just doing it the right way. So as you can see, they have tons of accounts that they use to spam comment everywhere. And they use it, as you can see here, to draw attention back to their main account, Brute Impact Fashion. So this is their actual main account. And this is why they're pushing all of their traffic by spam commenting, right? So they're a clothing company, I guess, whatever. I don't have much to say about their main account. So, as this kind of developed in the chat, I just, further was messaging them. They're like, no, these are real persons using that account. They're scouting for our team. Okay, so you're scouting with generic messages on a post that's 6 months old with no context. Yeah, so I'm not an idiot. The problem is here they can't even admit to their wrongdoing. I mean, I guess I wouldn't blame them because they're caught red-handed, and that's essentially what I told them. So if you look at the spam kind of accounts they're using, you can just see, 3 posts. So clearly they just set these up with the intent to be spammy. If you even open an image, I'm not sure if you guys can see it the same way on live. This image is really blurry. There's no caption. There's just nothing going on here. This is clear that the post, or excuse me, this account is created just to be spammy and just to drive traffic to the main brand page. Excuse me. And here's another one. Like I said, there's like 10 of these. Where is it? There's like 1 million of these accounts. There's even more than this. There's way more than this. Even this other one just has a few posts. And this one's interesting too, because look, instead of pushing back to the main page, this one's pushing back to Shop Valerio. So it's not pushing back to the main brand impact page. Now they're using this one to go to Shop Valerio, which is maybe a sunglass brand that they probably own as well. So they're doing the same thing, but poorly, because they're using this brand impact, which has clothing, and then it pushes to a sunglass page. So anyways, like, I just want you guys to understand, I want to point out and use a case study of how not to do marketing, how not to run a brand. If you want to be taken seriously, if you want to be a brand of quality, then you need to take yourself seriously. I understand that I'm a marketer, so I see through these things easier. I'm not the typical consumer. So maybe the average person wouldn't catch this or see this the same way. Either way, people are going to see it as spammy nonetheless. When I posted this on Instagram, I had people reply to my post, my story, and were like, man, they keep spamming my pages too. So other people are seeing it. And feeling the same way, and it's getting annoying, and no one wins in this case. The brand isn't winning, I'm certain, with your spammy low-res images and these bot comments. Like, no one's taking you seriously and buying your clothing and products in mass. Like, that's just not happening for certain. Instagram loses because the platform then gets full of bots. Then they're trying to police that. The head of Instagram even recently mentioned that that's a big emphasis right now, is trying to stop this bot activity. So yeah, do the right thing. Do real community management. Have social media managers who actually are humans going out and commenting on posts and trying to attract attention that way. Like, if anyone who saw my episode yesterday, I was talking about how Slim Jim is doing this very intelligently by commenting on posts to get top comment. Doing kind of growth hacky things that way is actually, to me, admirable and smart. Whereas the bot activity is just it's really poor marketing, and it's going to dilute and diminish the value of your brand. If your marketing tactics are spammy, they're ugly, they're impersonal, whatever adjective you want to use, then you're not going to go far, right? So take yourself seriously, invest in real marketing, invest in real social media managers and community managers. Do not leverage bots because you want to be lazy or you want to be cheap. If you're lazy and cheap, then your brand is lazy and cheap. So yeah, that's what I want to do. Just hop in and do a pretty quick 10-minute LinkedIn Live here of what not to do. Do not be a brand like this. Do not leave spammy comments. to try to drive traffic to your page. And do not lie if someone calls you out. I don't know what to say. You have no integrity either. Do not spam create a whole bunch of pages and dilute your brand and leverage bots everywhere. You will get caught. You will be seen. If by anyone, it will be by me. And yeah, that's kind of the moral of the story. I hope I made the case for not using bots of any kind on any platform. Keep it clean. Keep it clean out there. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you got some value out of this. Have a great day.